Good morning, friends of the internet. We are back again in the World of Tanks garage with the little spooky ghost flying around our E5. Is it haunted? No, it can't be haunted. It's too good of a tank to be haunted. So today I think I'm going to go out and play my E5. After my garage review the other day, I kind of felt like I had said that I don't play this tank enough. So with that being said, I was like, you know what? Today, why don't I play this tank? That way we get a little bit more seat time in it. You know, like I said, it's such a great tank to play, and I love playing it. And right now it's in a great position as one of the dominant tanks in this game. Only second to, I think, the Chieftain really battles back with it really strong. So with that being said, we're going to take this baby out today and see if we can have a little bit of fun. So let's find ourselves a match, shall we? All right, guys, so let's see what we got going here. We've got ourselves, an E110E5, a couple Centurion Action 10s, a Jagdpanzer, an E4. Pretty healthy lobby. So I'm going to employ a different plan here. Normally what I do with this map is I'll normally rush down to the river, to the frozen riverbed, and try to get into the middle of the fight. But today I think I'm going to play it a little bit differently, because every time I seem to do that, I seem to get caught. I'm detected first right out of the rip, and I find myself getting spotted and then hit from places that I can't even see, because literally sometimes on this map you can be 100 feet from somebody and never see them, depending on their camo rating and whatever. And then this blizzard just makes it difficult. Sandstorm's the same way. Typhoon's not so bad, but it still has its visibility. But I find on this map it's very aggravating to be detected and hit by a bunch of stuff that I can't even see, whether I'm set with binocs or not. So I'm going to fall back here to the back of the map. I'm going to play more of the sniper role this time. I'm going to try to support the team with my high rate of fire, and I'm going to set back here and throw up my binoculars so that I can see what's going on and I won't be detected. Once I detect them, I'll go ahead and spot them. So what I'm going to do is, or I'm going to go ahead and shoot them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post up over this ridge line here. I'm kind of just seeing what's going out there because I want to make sure that there was stuff going out there to the right to the river so that I'll have eyes on it. It looks like we've only got basically one big tank out there. This other tank destroyer, he's kind of setting back with the same plan. Then I see the other tank destroyer, or the other heavy tank out there. So we do have a few tanks out there that's going to be able to spot. So I'm just kind of letting things shape up. I'm looking at the map. I'm letting everything kind of play out. Now all of a sudden we can start to see that we're seeing things. Now see that 103 ran out there, got himself detected, and he got himself hit hard. And look what happened. He just hit, and he's just taking damage left and right. Look at that. That's normally what happens to you when you push out there too aggressively on this map. Now, normally you'd be able to get away with this on a normal map of this, but being that it's blizzard, you find yourself getting detected like that, and you can get yourself destroyed that easy. That could have been me if I went out there, and that normally is, because you've got to kind of separate your game style play on this map versus the standard map of this, where you can actually have some view range. Because here you're out of radio range, you're out of view range, and you just can't do anything. So I'm trying to be patient, even though we're down quite a few tanks. I'm trying to just be patient. I don't want to get too antsy and then start putting myself out there and getting in trouble. So we're starting to see some tanks fall out. So I see the E100. I'm waiting for this Action 10 to pull out there just a little bit more. I took a shot, but then right as I shot, I see the T71 is dead. And I probably hit the T71 because I didn't realize that tank was there until I fired. So I'm just kind of waiting. I'm waiting to see if this E100 is going to give me something to shoot at. He turns just a little bit, and I'm able to put one into him and hit him fairly decently. I'm trying to get reloaded here really quick. I see the Leopard. He's peeking around. I see this Brazil. I'm trying to get a shot on him to help this guy out over here. But then E100 pulls right out and gives me his whole side shot again. So as you can see, he's turning his turret kind of looking for me, but he can't see me. So he got himself in trouble, and that's how easily. Let's see an E100 that went out there that got himself in trouble that quickly. So I'm just trying to defend this E75 that's out there so we have eyes on stuff. But again, he's the one out there that's going to get detected and in trouble if they push him. So we've got to dispatch of the team members that push him quickly. So I'm still trying to be patient. He's still being detected, as you can tell. So I'm just kind of like being patient. I'm going to push up here a little bit, see if I get some shots over here. I'm looking around. And this is what I find hard about Blizzard is you can't see all the houses and the rubble piles. So you can sit here and track targets all day long and never have a shot and be totally out of the fight because you're constantly tracking targets to see if you're going to get a shot. So the leopard rears his ugly head again. So I'm going to see if I can get a shot into him. I must have sailed high on that one. I don't really know what happened to that shell there. I was kind of disappointed to see that I didn't hit anything. But this leopard's been kind of cheeky. He took a nice little hit there for almost half his life, so at least I don't have to worry about him too much. And you can see I'm tracking, and I never have a shot on him. So I go back to see if I might have a shot on the Conqueror. I see he's behind the ridgeline a little bit more, so I pull forward. And again, I can't see the buildings. That's why I keep like going to my main map, is to actually see where he's at located on the map, so I can decipher if I need to continue tracking him or not. So I put a shot into the T-54. He's pushing forward. I'm trying to help this object 268. He's gonna have me detected here in a second, and then he's dead. So he got killed. So right now we're pretty close to even on the scoreboard when it comes to tank for tank. We've got 3 tank destroyers setting up on our ridge line. We're just kind of sitting here, just kind of waiting. I'm trying to still be patient a little bit. I don't want to push and get too antsy yet, because I do know that I seen an E4 shell that had to have come from out there on the other ridge line, because I've seen a couple people take some damage for a pretty high hit. And the only person that could really do that, I think, would be that E4. So I don't want to get out there and get myself in trouble with him. So I'm going to roll up onto the hill here, because it seems like we're not seeing too much. And then all of a sudden, their E5 pops up. So I got to try to dispatch of this E5. So I try to pull up here. There's no artillery, so I'm just going to kind of track this guy. And again, we're stuck in the tracking system of World of Tanks on this Blizzard map. So you basically just are sitting here tracking targets looking for a shot. Now, normally I wouldn't zoom in unless I seen that they were getting ready to peek out and I was able to get a shot. But with the Blizzard, I have no idea where the buildings are. So as you can see, I'm tracking, just I keep looking at the big map to figure out where they're at, and I can't see them. So I'm trying to just take it easy, and I'm trying to let this E75 just kind of sit there and just keep him lit up. I see the 103, so I'm trying to see if I can track him and get a shot on him, get him off the board. And then we got the Ritalin child that starts pinging the map frantically. Well, if he wouldn't have died, he wouldn't have to be pinging the map so aggressively. He's freaking out, but I'm just trying to ignore him and be cautious here, because at the end of the day, I want to be cautious. I know that that E4 is still out there, and if I go down here by this E5, I could potentially get whacked fairly hard, and then I'm going to be pinned behind the building. But this E5 just will not peek. I'm tracking him. I'm waiting to see if he's going to pull out. Finally, I said, I got to push down here and help this E75, because it looks like this E75 is pretty wrecked, and he's not pushing him really hard due to the fact of the E4. Now, all of a sudden, I see him, but I can't quite get a shot because I don't know what's there. And now I'm detected, so I got to get out from in the open. But I can see how he's flickering in and out, and now I'm taking rounds from somebody else. So I got to get moving. I can't sit here and stay out in the open like this. I see on the map that the tank destroyer is clear over on the left-hand side, and then I also see that the 2 heavies are on the other side. So I try to push up, and then I realize that it was a fence that this guy was flickering through when I was trying to get shots on him. Now, if I would have been playing on a normal day where I could have seen that, I would have shot through the fence, but I didn't know what I was shooting, so I didn't want to waste a round and potentially not hit him. So right now, I'm still not quite sure at this point in game where the E4 was. I've seen him on the map now, and I now know, watching this back as I'm commentating this, that he was on the other side of the map. But while I was still in game, I thought he was still on the ridgeline behind him, and that's why this E5 wouldn't push out. Now, I know I took a shot from somebody, and I'm assuming it was the leopard because it didn't pin me, and it bounced off of me. So right now, my sixth sense is constantly on because I'm proxy detected. Now, the problem is I don't want to roll out there and take a big shot from the E4. So I'm trying to be cautious and see if I can bait this guy. I'm trying to act like I'm going to push around the backside of him. And then finally, I'm just kind of dipping out there to see if I can maybe get him to push. He starts to push. I go to get around, and he stops short. So I decide, you know what? I'm just going to push this guy. I'm tired of playing this peekaboo game with him. I'm going to push him right in there and pinch him right between the C100. So I put a shot into his ass end, takes out his engine. The E75's in trouble. I'm hoping he can just kind of bounce around, hopefully, but he doesn't. So I put another shot into him. Now I see the Leopard in front of me. So I'm waiting. The E5 hits me. I go to the Leopard, try to get a shot into him. I do. I'm ammo racked. I repair it really quick. Now the E5 got shot in the ass. Now I'm taken care of. So now I'm going after this Leopard. Now, this little douchey little player right here just really got on my nerves. He just peekabooed and played and hid over here. And the minute his E5 falls, this guy just runs. And I said, you know what? No, you're not going no place. So I stop. I stay behind the building so the E4 can't hit me, that I'm assuming is up on the hill. He starts to run again. I hit him and track him again. No, pal, you're not going anywhere. You are going in the win column for me. You are nothing but points for me. I'm so sick of that little Leopard over there that was just being annoying the whole friggin' game. So as you can see, I'm kind of rocking back and forth, just letting my sixth sense clear. At this point, I still believe that the E4 is up on this hill over here where I'm looking. So I decided to dip down into the riverbed just to be safe. So as I come around here, I'm still trying to locate this E4. I still don't know where he's at. And then I see he pings the map and he's clear on the other side. Just to add a little insult to injury to this Leopard, just to show him my disgust, I put a shot into him just to say, you know what? That's what you get for being all cheeky and trying to like ridgeline warrior me. So now I know where the E4 is at. I'm feeling confident. If I would have spotted him earlier in the match, I wouldn't have been so concerned about him being up on this ridgeline. But in game at that point, I was too focused on the E5 and everything that was going on that I didn't see him get pinged on the map. So we've got an E4 that's down capturing the base. So I'm not too concerned about, you know, the other E4 just yet. I'm trying to see if I could sneak in a shot right here. I get around, I clear the rebel pile. I see the side of his turret. I shoot, I get a nice little hit on him. Now he's trying to figure out where I'm at. So I'm trying to keep the angle on him. I don't want to follow up right behind the two tank destroyers. I want to come over to his flank to the other side and get a better angle on him so we can kind of pinch this guy a little bit better. I see him silent in there. I see the side of his tank. I put his last round into him to finish off his game. So you can see that playing a little more passive got me a lot further in the game. We was able to come out with the victory. We only had 3 tanks left, so it was a fairly close match, but we did 3,704. So even though I sat there pretty quietly for the first little bit of the match, we still did 3,704 in damage. So I think playing that strategy on that map is a little bit better to play a little more passive. But the problem is, well, thankfully we had the E75 that could bounce a few rounds. So what did we wound up? We wound up third on the team behind the 268 and the E4. So we finished third between all the tank destroyers. We fired 14 rounds, we hit 11, and we pinned 10. So great match for us. So I think passively playing that map is a little bit better. We did 804 on him, 689 on him. We did 1,071 on him. We did 379 on him. And the E5, we did 721. And so we didn't engage a lot of targets, but the targets that we did engage, we hit all our shots. So that's all that matters. So I hope that kind of showed the strategy on that map being in the blizzard and how you can play it a little more passively. Like I said, thank God we had an E75 that was out there doing the spotting for us. If it would have been a light tank or a medium tank that would have got dispatched fairly quick, it might have been a different outcome. So, but with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. That way, you know when we're posting new YouTube content and we're live streaming. If you haven't checked us out on Twitch or YouTube Gaming, come hang out, be part of the audience. If you're new to those channels, smash those follow buttons. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed this gameplay, and we'll see all your faces on the battlefield. Thanks so much, guys, for checking out my video. If you enjoyed that video, hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe for future videos.